Now, how are the scope of variables defined? That is how the program resolves the value of a variable. See, if you look at this program, you have a variable called p here, you have another variable called p here. But this p is different and this p is different. Why? The variables that are used in the main program are called as global variables. The variables that are used inside a function are called as local variables. The name of the local variables, the name of the global variables are treated differently. Even if they are same, they are stored in different places. In the memory, they are allocated different places to be stored. So, you have two different scopes called local scope and global scope. Actually, when you call a variable and say print A, computer first finds if there is a value inside a local area. If it is not there, then it searches in the global area. It also, the LEGB rule is followed to resolve the value. LEGB stands for local, enclosing, global and built-in. What is enclosing? Sometimes you have a function within a function, like a nested function. So that kind of a variable which is declared inside the calling function, it's called as enclosing scope. But let us skip this because we don't have this in our syllabus. Same way, built-in scope, that is declared in a built-in package. So let us skip these two things and just concentrate on local scope and global scope. A name declared in the top level segment of a program will have global scope. So what is the scope? What does the word global mean? The global variable can be used inside any function given in the program. Suppose you give a is equal to 10. Inside any function you can say print a. The global variable can be recognized inside any function. But local scope, a variable declared inside a function, can be used only within that function. So let me show you an example. Def a. Here I use a variable called x. And here in the main program, I use a variable called a and try to print a here. And in this place, I print x. Fun. Now, look at this program. Function, fun is a function. Inside fun, we have a variable called x. This x is a local variable. If you try to print x here, it will result in an error. Why? Locals are used only within that function. They are recognized only within that function. If you try to print it outside, it will cause an error. See, name x is not defined. But here, actually it has printed 100. In this place a gets printed, but when it enters here and tries to print the next one, it doesn't get printed. Now I try to print a here. That will not be a problem. Why? Because a is a global variable, so you can print that very well. See, 100 gets printed easily. Oh, I didn't call that function. See, 100, 10, 100. So what happens here? Look at this function. First a is assigned 100, then print a will get printed, that is 100 gets printed on the screen. Then function is called, then print x, 10 is printed. Then print a is not declared anywhere inside a function, so it is not available in local area. Then Python searches in the global area. Yes, here it finds 100 and then it gets printed. Suppose you have another function called fun2 where you try to print a. This will also get printed. Fun2. I will call fun2 also. Let me not print it here. See, 100, 100. What happened? the global variable is recognized inside these two functions, but a local variable is not recognized outside the function. So this is the difference between local and global variable. Okay. See, this is how memory is allocated. See, look at this example. Def sum of a comma b, print a plus b. Def diff of a comma b, print a minus b. A is equal to 10, b is equal to 20, sum of 5 comma 3. I have given a program here. Now observe this program carefully. There are two variables globally called AB. There are two local variables AB inside sum, two local variables AB inside diff. Now there are three sets of A's and B's used in this program, but all the three A's and B's are treated differently. This is how it is stored inside the memory. Global A and B is allotted a separate place. Local of sum AB is differently saved. Local environment for difference function, this one AB, that is stored differently. So if you print A inside diff function, 100 will be printed. If you try to print A inside some function, 5 will get printed. If you try to print A in the main program, 10 will get printed. So wherever you give the print command, first it will follow the LEGB rule. In that place, whatever is the variable available, it will print it. If it is not available in the local area, then global variable will get printed. Okay. So the rule that is followed for scope of a variable is LEGB rule. L stands for local, G stands for global. Local cannot be used outside the function, but global can be used anywhere inside the function. But local variable is always given the first preference. So when you have two variables A here as well as inside the function, try to print A inside the function, the local value will only get printed, not the global one. Okay, I will make it clear. Here I have A is equal to 10. Here I have A is equal to 100. When I run this program, when print A is encountered, actually the local value will only get printed. Here when you print A, there is no local variable called A, so it will print the global variable. So if local is available inside a function, that is given first preference. If local is not available in the name of A, then global value is taken. Okay. See, in the first program, 10 is the local value. Second one function, 100 is the global value because local is not available. Hope you understood the concept of local and global variables. So this is an example, variable in global scope but not in local. So I am trying to print num1 inside a function, but it will not cause any error. It will consider this num1 from the global one. Look at this example, def high x is equal to 10 and print x. And here I have given 4 main lines, x is equal to 25. So I have given the same x inside the function as well as outside the function. Now, when I say print x inside the function, 15 will get printed. When I print x outside the function, 25 will get printed. So what is the order of printing? What will be the output of this program? First, x is assigned 25. Print x means 25 will get printed. Then high is called, high function is executed. X is assigned 15, that is a different x value. Print x, which means 15 will get printed. Now function gets over, again come back to the main program. Again I am printing x. But this x refers to what? The global value. Why? Because local values cannot be used outside the function. So the output of this program will be 25, 15, 25. So you will be given a question like this, write the output of this code. You should be able to write. Now look at this. Suppose you want to change the global value itself for any case. You need not use the separate variable. I want to use the global value itself. In that case, you should use the keyword global. See, I will show you the program. Def fun. Now, A is equal to 10 and I give A is equal to 100, call the function, then print A. Now let us see what happens. See, A is assigned a value 100, then function is called, A is assigned a value 10. This A is different and this A is different. So when you try to print A, the global value 100 will get printed. See, 100 gets printed. But inside the function, for any purpose, if I want to change this A itself, then you can say global A. What do you mean by that? You want to access this global variable A. I am directly accessing this value and not a separate one. You are intimating the computer not to allocate a separate area for this A. This and this are the same. I want to use the global variable. Now in this case, this A value is changed as 10. So what will be the output of print A? 10 will get printed on the screen. See? Before calling this function, 100 will be printed. Look at this. First 100 will get printed. Once I enter the function, I am changing the value of the global A. So it changes this as 10. So 100 and 10 will be the answer of this code now. Okay. Now, when you pass a mutable value to a function, what do you mean by a mutable data type? Say you are passing a list. I will show you an example. This example I will type and show you. Suppose you pass a list L1. Let us see what happens. L1 dot append of 3. I am just appending something. Here I will assign L1 equal to 1 comma 2. There is a list called L1 which has 1 comma 2. Then I am calling the function with L1 and trying to print L1. Now when you append a value 3, what happens? It is a mutable data type. So this L1 and this L1 are not treated as separate variables. It creates a shallow copy. Why a shallow copy is created? Because it is a mutable data type. So when you append a value 3, it is actually adding the value 3 in the global variable itself. This happens because it is a mutable data type. So when you print L1, 1 comma 2 comma 3 will get printed. See? To avoid this, suppose you wish that this L1 should not get disturbed. Then before using it, create a copy of it and then change it. See now what happens. Now 1 comma 2 is getting printed. This 3 does not affect the global variable. So when a list is being passed, it is created as a shallow copy, and when you append, when you add or edit anything in a list, it directly affects the list given in the main program. But when you create a copy of it, here a deep copy or a true copy is created. So L1 does not get disturbed. Okay, this is the concept of passing a mutable type to a function. Okay, so a deep copy, use dot copy function, create a new copy of a list and append an element to that. In that case, the program will be executed properly.